Step into the powder room with KEL.
All right, good evening, Lagos. The time is 8 minutes past 8 p.m. right here on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday evening. My name is KEL, and you are welcome to step with me into the powder room. Yes, it's another exciting episode, and today's topic is I'm trying to put this delicately, but I would say if you got kids in the car right now, you might want to just put their headphones on. But no, it's still radio, so we're still going to keep it clean because it's still radio. But I think that this particular topic is one that is essential for women to have. It's one that a lot of women love to run away from because the word and the topic itself has been stigmatized, so to speak, and there's a lot of taboo that is connected with it, especially when we're talking about it in relation to women. I'm talking about sexuality. Yes, that's our conversation today. Now, again, because it's radio, we're going to keep it as PG as we can, but it's going to be more of a healthy conversation because the person that I have here with me is very, very qualified to be having this conversation with me. I'm talking about somebody who I've known for 10 years. we started in the trenches together. Not really trenches. Why I said trenches?
Because you started from the bottom. That's what you meant, right? Bougie trenches.
Yeah, it was bougie. Exactly. So we started this journey together such a long time ago, and since then she has grown past being just a media personality. She's also a filmmaker. Yes, she is. She is a podcaster. I was meant to be a guest on her podcast, but finger crossed for the second season, I will definitely be there. And she's also a sexual health educator. And she's also an actor too as well. She wears many hats. And in fact, the women that I know, we wear many, many hats. I'm talking about none other than Destiny Amaka.
Clap for myself. What's good? Powder room.
Oh, how are you?
I'm good, honey. I'm good. I'm beautiful. I'm thriving. I'm growing. I'm blessed.
You know what? When you just said that, thriving, because the one liner of this show is a woman's got to thrive and not just survive.
Oh,
yes.
Girl, high five. Then we're in the same spirit, mate, because I didn't know that. It's not a word I use often. So,
are you serious?
No.
It's very important because in this day and age, people are just moving on autopilot. Yeah. You know how things are happening left, right, and center. Some people are even struggling to have any sort of social life at all because the hustle.
But we have to stop.
Yes.
We have to stop. Should I say problems? No, they finish.
Try to enjoy.
It doesn't finish. And this one finishes, another one comes, another one. And I just got to a point in my own personal life. I was like, no, I really want to just smell the flowers. I want to stop and smell the flowers. You may not have the money to go on a big vacation. You may not have the money to treat yourself in a spa or all these, buy a new hair, buy all these new things, but you have the decency and the power to say no. And sometimes that's all you need to thrive, is just to say no and just be in the moment and just sit there and just let yourself feel hurt, feel anger, feel shame, feel disappointment, feel frustration, feel everything that this country is throwing at you. Just feel it and when you need to, you know. And once you've done that, you brush your shoulder off, go get yourself a can of Red Lights. You know, it's affordable. Do you understand? Get yourself 600 Naya Suya. Pop it. Bob's your own. Do you know?
Yes.
Stop and smell the
man.
flower.
Like everything you just said, I'm just wondering, why did I not have your initial since? because you're right. A lot of people don't stop. It's moving. So even if you're trying to achieve something, you achieve that, and then your goal is what's next? What's next? What I have to achieve? And you're not even stopping to enjoy the little things and the big things that you have accomplished.
And then before you know it, 10 years has gone. And you're not as young as you was 10 years ago. The opportunities that you have for you now are not, as they were before. You're not as strong. You're not as free. So I really don't want to, I don't know what it is with society, this whole microwave society, everything fast. But whenever, if we're honest, if you get into a new relationship and things are happening fast, you get anxious.
Yeah.
And life was doing that to me. And I was like, hold up. Why am I always in a hurry? Why am I always feeling anxious? Why am I always like, no, like just step back. Yeah. It's not easy.
All right. Now you kicked off the conversation nicely. So when you hear the word sexuality, what comes to your mind? What do you feel like? How do you define that word?
I think sexuality is the way in which we choose to express ourselves sexually. Yeah. So it can mean different things to different people, but it's an expression of one's sexual being, sexual self. Yeah. Some people have fetishes with random things like straws. Sorry, it's the first thing that's in front of me. Like, yeah, that's the most funniest thing about sex, is that people can be turned on by your armpits. People can be turned on by you grinding your teeth. People can be turned on by just toe fetishes. You know, there's so many different things that is intertwined with this thing called sex, and it's broad, and it's no longer, you know, penis, vagina. It's more than that, you know, and people are starting to explore those avenues, and they're looking for ways to explore them. So sexuality to me is really just a way that you express yourself sexually, whether it's with the same sex, although it's 14 years, I beg you.
Please.
Don't go and say, they said no. It's 14 years.
There's a law.
But those 14 years will not curb your desire. So I'm just saying, people use these channels sexually to express themselves. So that's sexuality.
Do you think when it comes to the topic of sexuality, do you think there are some lines that should not be crossed? Because you mentioned things like straws and grinding up the teeth.
I always say this. No, that's the beauty of sex and the beauty of life. As long as two adults are consenting.
Two consenting
yes,
adults.
That's the key factor. If you like, you can even stick your pee inside my nose.
Good night.
Good night. We just started to say good night. Yes, if you like, stick it in my ear. If you like, let me spit in your mouth. You spit back in my mouth.
It's okay.
It's so broad right now, girl. You invited me here. I got no filter.
Just filter more.
The point is, I think sexual compatibility is a thing. I've heard where they don't believe in sexual compatibility.
Yes, because I've heard people say that, you know, I've heard somebody even say that to me before, one of my exes, that he feels like it doesn't matter if the sexual compatibility isn't high with me and him, because we connect mentally, you know, and we have great conversations, and it's just that connection is there. And I said, that's nice. That's for a best friend. I'm not here for a best friend
God
stuff.
Bless you. If we're not having good sex, then we're siblings. If we're not knocking, we're neighbors.
How high of a factor is it especially when it comes to marriages? Because some people be like, you just use it for procreation, and everybody will be okay.
So marry someone that has those same values, and you guys can live happily ever after. That's where sexual compatibility comes into play. But a lot of our men are so spoiled these days because they don't value the union, they don't value the vows, and they know that, okay, I'm cheating, I'm engaging, I'm still cheating, and I'm gonna marry her, and even if she's not sexually adventurous, it doesn't matter because I can get it outside.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I counsel a lot of married couples, and what you find is that yes, they can get it outside, but they married this individual because she is their safe haven. And a lot of men, regardless of whether they go out or not, I hear that, you see, that's woman where they keep for house, that thing where she gets, that is what they want.
So then why still creep outside? Greed?
No, it's not greed. Cheating is an individual decision. It's not a gender-based decision.
Oh, definitely,
It is an individual. I know some men that are faithful, and I'm starting to meet them even more. Whether they're truly faithful or not, I don't know. I'm not in their bedrooms with them. Do you get? But I think you attract like-minded people. So when you're facing one direction, you're saying all men cheat. That's probably just where the area or the space that you're in, because there are some very loyal men out there where they have not crept out, and maybe their wives have. Do you get? Yeah. So
True.
morally, cheating is down to an individual decision, and no man and no woman can stop somebody from cheating. If a man decides not to cheat tomorrow,
Girl,
don't think it's
preach.
because of you.
Preach.
It is not. It is
Preach.
because of the decision he has come to make within himself.
Yes. And I totally agree. You know, and there's what do you think about, have you heard some men say this thing that, oh, this is my wife, so when it comes to my wife, we can only do the basics, like missionary positions and all of that. But if we're going to move in the oral manner, you know, I can't have that with my wife because that's my queen. I put her on a pedestal, and that's why I'd rather go outside
and
for the other freaky
else.
stuff that I want to do.
Yeah.
And they really justify it in their heads, and it makes sense to them.
Yes.
Does that really make sense to them, or they're just using that as an excuse to cheat?
Both. I'm sorry is your name because you're married. Why are we not having this conversation before y'all get married? And this is why I'm so big on speaking about sex. I really look forward to the day where we do an intro and we don't have to apologize. When we do an intro and we don't have to water it down. Do you get? Like, really, this is where I hope to take this whole sex discussion to, because we have villainized sex. Yes. And like you mentioned it in the intro, we have made it into something that's demonic, something that's nasty, something that it's so beautiful. It's a gift that's supposed to be shared between two people that feel safe. It's such a vulnerable
I like
act.
that word.
Yeah, and you see that
Safe.
smile. You see, for me, all of those things, that's what sex is. But when we start saying, you know, all this, and we can't say this, we can't do that, and we can't put all these barriers around it, it just makes us feel like we're doing something dirty. But how can you do something dirty when it's consensual? Some men have fetishes of women peeing on them. Like, to the average person like me, I'm like, ew. Do you understand?
It's like a golden showers.
Golden
That's what
shower,
it's called. I was trying to remember.
Golden shower, yes. And my dear, if you find someone, you know, like what's her name? That P Diddy's girl. Carisha. She admitted, she's backtracked it, but she admitted that she enjoys receiving golden showers. So find your niche. Don't you know, excuse my English, bastardize it. You know, find your niche. Find someone that enjoys the things that you enjoy. Find someone that is as explorers, you know, as curious as you are sexually. And if you're not, there's nothing wrong with it, unless there's a condition. Do you get? Some women are, you know, sometimes they don't have, the libidos are not that great. And they can get help for that if they want. But then you meet some men who also their libidos are not that great too. True. Find your match and enjoy this thing, because it's good.
Alright, so we're gonna take girl.
It's good.
We're gonna take a brief break. Alright.
I need voice like this. My body will not stand.
My voice. Have you listened to your voice?
Now
that's why I need to go on a break, fam.
Press ourselves. Yes, we'll go on a break so you can clean up.
Good night, Destiny. Alright, so we're going to be right back, and we're going to have the conversation as it relates to women and why it's considered such a taboo, and for where women are scared to speak on their sexual needs. This is the Powder Room. My name is KEL, and I'm here with Destiny Amaka. We will be right back.
Go get a tissue. You're listening to the Powder Room.
Hey guys, my name is Destiny Amaka, aka Ama Kiss Kiss. Mwah! And I am chilling right here in the Powder Room with KEL. Kissing, first thing, just wetness. Wet. Abi, Naso. Power. I was gonna say breast, but yeah. Your breast is not defining femininity. Communication. Beauty. Power. joy, comfort, infinity. Me?
Step into the powder room with KEL.
All right, you're welcome back. This is the Powder Room, and you're hanging out with myself and Destiny Amaka, and we are talking sexuality. And I love the fact that you brought up so many great points, right? Especially when you talk about sex being something to be enjoyed in a safe place, because a lot of women especially do not feel safe with people that they're even married to, and so for them the act of sex is it's torture. It's torture, and people that don't have the conversations on what kind of person are you in the bedroom? Do you like what I like? Yes, and I think it's very, very, very important that those conversations happen. In fact, if you're going to spend the rest of your life with somebody else, I think you need to be having any and every conversation, because you can't just leave things up to chance.
You might not have them all in one day. The conversations may not happen all in one go, but if you're definitely planning to marry the person, I think during beyond marriage counseling, these are conversations that you need to push the envelope slowly. A lot of people feel like, okay, if you have all of that conversation in one day, your true emotions and feelings are not going to all come out. So take your time while you're having it. Push, jot them down, and maybe be like, okay, maybe next week or in a month time, or maybe around this season. Also gauge the timing in which you have such conversations. I know some men where if they're stressed out and they're focused on work, they don't want to hear anything sexual. They don't want to hear anything else. So knowing the timing in which you bring out certain conversations. There are also other ways to have conversations, like pictorially. You might see something online and you can forward it to them, and that may just spark up a conversation. If you don't know how to start the conversation, there are different things. You can forward links, forward blogs, and then just drop hints. Start with hints. Not everybody is as opened sexually as they ought to be. I wrote this caption down the other day. I've just opened it right now because it really baffled my head. So the caption is: we, especially as African women, are taught to shut down our sexual desires, but then magically become a sex goddess the moment we walk down the aisle. That is exactly what our culture does to us. Growing up, you're not allowed to, you can't go and wear a bra, and don't sit on uncle's lap, and come on, wear this dress, pull it down. You're taught to hide away your sexuality or your sexual desires or feelings. You can't talk about them. You're not allowed to. Then all of a sudden, it's time to get married. Okay, this is what you must do for your husband.
Your husband must do this. And you're like, how am I supposed to do this? I thought we're not supposed to talk about this.
That you said is demonic, is devilish. How you're now telling me to be giving my husband oral sex, but you've raised to believe that this is not right, and then now you're supposed to be a champion at it. How? How? So we're doing ourselves disservice from the inception. We need more sexual health education in our schools, because these children be doing position and things that I'm still learning. These Gen Z, I'm learning from them. We need to catch up. There's no way we can continue to cover this thing with brushing sex under the carpet. No. This next generation, I'll be surprised. I can't even say all this on air if they have bomb left self, because the way they're experimenting and different things that they're doing to experiment, I don't know.
But some of them things are a bit harmful, though.
Very harmful, but it's easier if you know what you're doing. So I'm so big on women enjoying sex.
Yes.
It's important. I don't know about you, but I grew up, my mom was very, very liberal sexually. It's different. Sex was never hidden. Sex and alcohol, two things were never hidden in my house. In fact, we drank alcohol with certain meals. That's how we were taught. And my mom would run around the house with condoms, and she put like 3-4 in my brother's pockets. Don't bring back any disease in this house. I don't want to see you scratching your balls anyhow, you know. And I'm just like, Mama, why would they be scratching their balls, you know? And then she brought out my sister, what is that? So share your pH balance has gone off. Share you don't know with this boyfriend. So it was just so informative and very free. So it wasn't, you know, whenever people were kissing on TV or stuff like
They
that,
won't cover your eyes. Cover your eyes. Close your eyes. Then look at that.
This is if I catch you. This is what adults do. And when two adults, I feel it's important to educate. Education is empowering. Like a box of cigarettes. We all know cigarettes kill. Smoking can kill.
Yes.
And they have this big ugly lungs in the front of it, and they say smoking kills. You are the one that's still using your hands. It's a decision.
Yes.
Do you get?
As an adult.
Empower. Educate, and then let it be known that, you know what, I don't like how you're touching me, because I know that I'm supposed to be enjoying this, and right now I'm not enjoying this. So having the know-how to say that, women, you're not just, you know, an accessory, you're there to get your own. I go into the act to enjoy it. If I'm not going to be enjoying it, then we're not having it. You're not gonna have yours and I won't have mine. Because like
what you said about a lot of women not even knowing what they want. A lot of women have not even experienced what an actual orgasm is.
Poor things. Poor things. It's true. It's very sad. Very sad. And the men will be lifting up their shoulders thinking there's something. It's very, very sad. And the men themselves don't know how to give it. And here's another thing. Do you know what your vagina looks like?
I'm sure I do. I do look at it sometimes. Yeah.
You see, it's really important. I always say this. Women know, like, if we were to take pictures of all the vaginas in this radio station,
everything looks different, right?
Place them up and ask us to point out our
which one is your own.
Yes, without any like features. Literally, which one is what's your vulva, like what's your vagina lips. A lot of women won't be able to identify that part of their body. That's a big problem. Yes, knowledge is power. And when you're empowered as a woman, you can direct. You can say no, you can say stop, you can say I want some more of this, because you know what it's like. So sit down, even if you're squirmish, because it happened to me. You're by yourself. How much more shame can you have on your own? That shame will last for a few minutes and then no one needs to know. But sit down, open your legs and put a mirror in front of you. Do you have flaps? Do you not have flaps? I mean, our vaginas are so different externally and internally, especially internally, because it still baffles me how some men will go inside of you and they'll be like, oh, so soft. And I'm like, oh, is it not supposed to be? Okay, like sandpaper.
So like sandpaper.
I'm like, oh, is it not supposed to be? Do you understand? Like,
I think apart from that, I think it's also good to just know what your body looks like. So if something looks off one day, you can tell. So you're not like, is this thing supposed to be here or not?
Exactly.
So you're not lost.
Like this whole masturbation thing, I understand it's a big taboo and religion and culture and whatnot. But if you put it in terms of theory, it's important to learn your body.
Yeah.
How can you tell a man to pleasure you
if you're not aware of what?
Don't know how you want to be pleasured. So a lot of men say, oh, women, they don't talk because they don't know. All I know is that this doesn't feel good, but I don't know how to direct you because I'm shying away from my own body.
But this is definitely different from women who experience what's that?
Sexual trauma?
Vaginal
penetration.
No, there's a word for it. Like it's when it's painful, vaginismus or something. What's that word?
Okay, no, I don't know the medical term for that. But
like basically, like penetration is painful for them, and that's just it's a thing. I don't know if it's a mental thing or if it's an actual physical thing. But there's some women who their sexual experiences with penetration are always very, very painful. That's up to the point where they're almost even crying if their husbands are trying.
Anything medical, go to the hospital because it's not supposed to be. Do you understand? I'm not a medical expert in that sense and I can't say this or that, but there are different reasons why that would happen, and most times, not all the time, it's mental. It's a mental block. Maybe a past childhood trauma experience. So in your head, you feel like sex is gonna hurt. And even when it doesn't hurt, your brain is already at the peak of, oh, it's gonna hurt. So most time it's more, even the doctors, they'll probably tell you, send you to a psychologist, a psychiatrist. Most times it's mental. There are other conditions, times when it's more medical, but get yourself checked up. Like, treat sex as important as you would any other health, like a flu, malaria. You know, again, like I said, sex is made to be enjoyed.
And then if you're not enjoying it, then there's a problem. It's just being done wrong.
Go find what the problem is, and find the problem with I find a lot of women don't want to know the answers because they actually don't want to engage in it. So you tell them all these great things and they don't do it because they don't want to find the answer.
Man, yes. It really is so weird how that topic is such a taboo even amongst adults. You know, it's like, oh no, a woman shouldn't tell you what she wants. A woman shouldn't speak up too much, you know, in the bedroom, so that you're not seen as quote unquote a loose woman. I remember there was a friend of mine who said he wanted to get married, but he was afraid to show his wife, his intended wife, because he wanted to propose to her, his freaky side. And then he brought out, was it handcuffs or something? And then she brought out her own handcuffs. He's like, he said, yeah.
See, that's
this is my wife.
Yes, that's so perfect.
Because I think it's very important. If the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with, even if you're going to be a philanderer, wandering up and down the place, at least let there be some compatibility with that person who you are spending the rest of your life with. Don't say, oh, she's my wife, so I can only be with her if we want to conceive. So you think your wife too is not looking for somebody to choke and stroke? Like I don't understand.
Oh, she said choke and stroke.
Why must you say it like that? I said it in a very direct, objective manner. You just made it very dirty.
Because I saw it. I'm a visual person. Mind what you said. I saw it. Choke and stroke. Yes, there's a lot of things that you have to. That discussion is important. Very, very, very important. Another thing is evolution. We grow sexually. We evolve sexually. Yeah, we do. There's some things that I didn't used to like in the bedroom that are more open to now as an adult. So imagine if you get married and you've been married for 10, 15 years, and in those 10, 15 years your desires change. Maybe your husband never ever brought up the idea of anal, for example. Yeah, that's one thing that I know that terrorizes some women. Bruh. You know, as it should. You know, yeah. So imagine if, you know, it's been married for 10 years and then he comes home and he's like, yeah, let's try the other hole. And you're like, what the hole? I'll call the pastor. I'll call your mom, call my mom, call everybody. You know, but remember, sex is supposed to be a place of vulnerability. So never use, you know, whatever your partner discloses to you against them. That's really, really important. And I'm not saying that you should do things that you don't like, but marriage, there's a lot of compromise that comes in that union. So if you're going to say no, it's the deal breaker, then maybe it's something that should have been discussed earlier. Or if you want to be, you know, the better spouse, and it's not just the women, some men like to be pegged too by their wives.
Okay.
So the point is, these things are happening.
Yeah, but it's true. It's a reality for some people.
So it's for you to go and do your homework. So it's almost like, okay, you know what? I don't like broccoli, but my son, my child, my husband is obsessed with broccoli and they want us to go to a broccoli fair and I have to eat broccoli. Let me go and find out what broccoli is made of, what the ingredients are, if I'll react to it or not. Like, educate yourself, do some background knowledge that will make it easier for you, and you'll be like, okay, you know what, I'm not open to the idea, but because I love you, I think I'll try some broccoli. You know, and it's for you to try it with an open mind. You never know, you might just enjoy it. And if you don't, it's okay too, because if he or she respects you and loves you, they're not going to want to inflict something on you that you don't like, regardless of how much they like it. That is not love. Yeah,
I love that, and then I think that's like the perfect place to wrap up.
Straight up.
I did not know how this conversation was going to go, but I knew it was going to go well, but it went even better than I imagined. Thank you
guys.
so much.
And if you have any questions, guys, just reach out to me in my DM. I'm more than happy. Like, I live for this. Like, genuinely, I live to help people, especially around these topics. Because again, you know, when you are enjoying something, you're a good person. You want
to share.
Yes. And you'll be hearing like, I don't
share
like
that
this
good knowledge.
Like, really, why? You know.
All right. So what's your social media handle?
Destiny Amaka on all platforms. Social media, Destiny Amaka. My Facebook is only my fan page. Don't go there and get deceived, and I don't respond. The best way to get me is either Destiny Amaka on Instagram, or my podcast is called Butterflies in My PP.
I'm sorry, the first time I heard that name, I was like, girl,
cracks up.
Girl, what do you want?
Butterflies in My PP. Yes, on YouTube and on Instagram.
All right. Thank you so much for being here with me. This was
so
an
quick.
absolutely very smooth, enjoyable conversation, and I learned some stuff too as well. So thank you so much. So yes, you heard it from Destiny Amaka, and if you're a woman who has been taught to shy away from your sexuality, have a rethink. Because trust me, everybody else is, especially the men, they're doing what pleases them. So you might as well do what pleases you too. All right. So you can follow me on social media at KEL Online is my handle everywhere. And of course, follow the Powder Room at TPR Podcast NG. That's our social media handle everywhere. And of course, follow at Lagos Talks 913, and of course follow my fave at @star_Radler. All right, I'm gonna be here with you next week same time with another amazing guest, having another amazing conversation. So till then, it's good night and God bless.